Imagine traveling back in time to an era when the Roman Empire dominated much of the known world. The scene before you is that of a splendid Roman villa, a symbol of wealth and sophistication. But what was daily life really like in a Roman villa? What secrets did these luxurious and productive places hold? Today, we'll take a journey into the past to uncover how the most privileged Romans lived. A microcosm of luxury and productivity. Roman villas were far more than just residences, they were self-contained microcosms. These grand estates seamlessly combined luxury and functionality to meet every need of their owners and their families. The largest villas often featured private baths, ornamental gardens, libraries, and even theaters. At the same time, they were centers of agricultural production, with expansive lands cultivated for crops and infrastructure to process goods like olive oil and wine. Entering a Roman villa, the first striking feature was the atrium, a central open space adorned with mosaics and frescoes. This was not merely a passageway, it was the symbolic heart of the home, where the master received guests and clients. Every element was designed to impress, from marble columns to decorative fountains, every detail shouted opulence. Yet, a Roman villa was more than a status symbol. Its agricultural facilities and storerooms were the economic engine of the estate. From vineyards to olive presses, everything was organized to maximize productivity and ensure prosperity. Family life. The day began early for the villa's inhabitants. At dawn, the paterfamilias, the head of the family, oversaw the estate's activities. His day was filled with responsibilities, from meeting his clients during the morning ritual of the salutatio to making decisions about agricultural operations. The matron, the master's wife, played a central role in managing the household. She was in charge of domestic organization, overseeing slaves and the production of textiles, often carried out within the villa itself. Her influence extended beyond domestic matters. She was a key figure in the family's social relations. Children spent their days under the guidance of tutors or educated slaves, studying grammar, rhetoric, and philosophy. Villas often had spaces dedicated to learning, reflecting the Romans' high regard for education. But there was also time for recreation. Board games, small theatrical performances, or public readings were enjoyed by the entire family. The role of slaves behind the luxury of the villa was the relentless labor of slaves. They were responsible for nearly every aspect of daily life, from cooking to cleaning, from maintaining the gardens to managing agricultural operations. A Roman villa could house dozens, if not hundreds, of slaves, each with a clearly defined role. Domestic slaves lived within the villa, often in separate quarters, while agricultural slaves worked in the surrounding fields. Their day began before dawn and ended at sunset. Despite their harsh lives, some slaves with particular skills or trustworthiness could earn privileges or even freedom. Once freed, these former slaves, known as freedmen, often continued to work for the family as loyal clients. Food and social life. Food played a central role in the life of a Roman villa, not just as sustenance but as a means of socializing. The dinner, or cena, was the most important meal of the day. In a Roman villa, dinners were often lavish events featuring elaborate dishes and fine wines. Guests reclined on couches, known as triclinia, arranged around a low table, and were served by slaves. Banquets were an opportunity to display wealth and culture. The master entertained his guests with poetry, music, or philosophical discussions. The Roman diet was diverse, including grains, meats, fish, and exotic fruits. Dishes were often enhanced with spices imported from distant lands, such as pepper and cinnamon, showcasing Rome's vast commercial power. Meals were not just about nourishment but also about spectacle. The most extravagant banquets featured acrobats, musicians, and even exotic animals. Relaxation and culture. Life in a Roman villa wasn't all work, there was also room for relaxation and culture. Private baths provided a place for rejuvenation, while gardens offered peaceful retreats, often adorned with statues and fountains. Romans loved to read, and the wealthiest villas boasted well-stocked libraries. Another fascinating aspect was the connection to nature. The villa gardens were designed to be not only beautiful but also functional, featuring fruit trees, aromatic herbs, and flowers. Strolling through these gardens was considered a refined pleasure, as well as a moment for reflection. There were also spaces dedicated to meditation and contemplation, enhanced by pergolas and shaded areas. The grandest villas could even include small theaters or private amphitheaters, where performances were held for the family and guests. Culture was central to daily life, with philosophical debates and readings animating the evenings. A timeless legacy. Today, visiting the ruins of a Roman villa feels like stepping into a time machine. Every mosaic, every column, and every fresco tells the story of an extraordinary civilization that left an indelible mark on Western culture. Daily life in a Roman villa reminds us of how advanced the Romans were, not only in technology and architecture but also in their ability to create spaces that blended luxury, work, and culture. This balance continues to fascinate and inspire us millennia after the fall of the empire. Perhaps that's why Roman villas still represent an ideal of harmonious living that we can only admire.